Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host Ahmed Nawaz with the latest roundup of sports today. The Pakistan-Bangladesh Test match has finally been underway now. Pakistan, after being 16 for 3, has made a remarkable recovery. And after Bangladesh won the toss and put Pakistan to bat first, of course, Bangladesh fielding well. They read the pitch very well. They took those 3 early wickets. They held on to their catches. They were absolutely superb. So all credit needs to be given to Bangladesh, but at the same time to Saim Ayub and Saud Shakil as well, who have steadied Pakistan's ship. If you want to watch all the action, it's live right now on PTV Sports HD. You can watch it there. We'll keep updating you with the latest of scores as well. So we'll talk all there is to talk about this test match in detail as well. Pakistan so far are 104 for 3 in 26.1 overs. Saim Ayub is not out on 53, followed by Saud Shakil on 35. So we'll talk about that. Otherwise, for the 3 batters who returned to the pavilion, it was a very, very disappointing performance. And I made this comment initially. I don't know whether it's the pertinent one to say or not, but I think with all credit to Bangladesh, we gave away our wickets. I couldn't say that they took wickets, we gave away wickets. I mean, for a guy of Abdullah Shafiq's caliber to be chasing a delivery outside 4th or 5th stump, it is absolutely astonishing. And then, of course, you come to Shan Masood, judgmental error. His body weight was already to the offside to play that cover drive, and once the ball nipped back in, he had no clue. Babar Azam shuffled, didn't have his weight, lack of confidence and lack of to be really honest, I think it's not just lack of confidence, it's lack of skill that is evident now. If he has all of that, then he should probably make that transcend. This was the right moment for him to gain confidence. And I understand that each and every player has a rough patch, but I have mentioned this on various platforms today that 2 modes of dismissal are very, very calculated now for Babar Azam, and sides around the world are very modern enough to know them. One, that gate that he makes between bat and pad to get him out there, and the next one is down the leg side. So these have been frequent dismissals, and I think this is now a question not about the lack of confidence, but a question about a technical flaw that exists that needs to be talked about, whether the high backlift is coming late, whether the head position or the shuffle is there. I would not comment technically, but I think it's for the experts now, and even for Babar Azam to go back to the drawing board. It's very, very necessary, and I think that's why we stress that once you come back to domestic cricket, that's going to help you in international cricket. That's the place where you need to adjust all of these errors. So we talk about that in detail. Then, of course, we move on and we tell you that the Women's T20 World Cup has finally been shifted to UAE from Bangladesh, citing political instability and concerns over there. Earlier, it was announced that they would either shift it to Sri Lanka or UAE, and now the decision has been taken that UAE would be hosting the 10-team tournament that starts from 3rd till the 20th of October. Australia has won 6 of the 8 previous editions, so the dominance there continues as well. Disappointing for Bangladesh. They've just had an interim setup that was announced today as well in the Bangladesh Cricket Board. I hope that things settle for them as well, and they get to host an ICC tournament in the future. Then we move on. The World Cadet Games 2024. Abdul Moeed of Pakistan has clinched the gold medal in the 400-meter race. He achieved the feat in just 48.20 seconds. He represented Pakistan in multiple international events. Congratulations to Moeed for winning a gold medal in these World Military Games. He was absolutely superb. A great moment for Pakistan. And then we move on. We talk about Pakistan's QS Shahram, who's made history, becoming the first QS to chalk max of 147 break in the United States. Shahram secured medals in Asian and World Championships before this as well. So remarkable feat. Snooker is already giving us a lot of positive news that needs to be highlighted. And then we tell you about the FIFA World Cup 2026 qualifiers. Injured Lionel Messi has been left out of the World Cup qualifiers squad. He suffered an ankle injury in Copa America final. Inter Miami player currently is recovering at his club as well. So that is what we're discussing. Time now to introduce the guests. First of all, joining us in studios is cricket commentator, international broadcaster, presenter, and our sports expert, Asif Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Walaikum Assalam, Ahmed. I am perfect. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us. We've also been joined by fellow anchor and expert Syed Mohammad Awais. Assalamu alaikum, how are you?
Walaikum Assalam, Ahmed. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you for joining us. We've also been joined by fellow anchor and expert Mr. Ali Gohar. Assalamu alaikum, Ali. How are you?
Walaikum Assalam. Great to be here.
Well, great to have you. And finally, I think it's been a while now, but great to have you on note where Test cricket has finally started. So what would you like to add about the first day of proceeding? My particular question to you would be the change in mindset that is now coming from Tony Hemming. I've heard from his words as well today that they're going to change the dynamics of pitches in Pakistan and mostly make them like this.
Yeah, well, I think that's a positive step. it was a while ago, but I think the last time they played on this ground, just over 500 runs were scored on day one. And obviously now it's a very different story. There's a bit of life and grass on the track. It's been raining in Islamabad for quite some time, so there is a bit of heaviness and moisture around, which the Bangladeshi seamers exploited, especially Shariful. Look, you were talking about the dismissals of the Pakistani batters. Yes, there are some obvious technical flaws, but they haven't played Test cricket in quite a while. The last time they played Test cricket was in Australia, and that was some time back. So, you're bound to they're bound to be a little bit rusty, and when the ball is moving around like that, which they're not used to, you expect early wickets to fall. But full credit to Saim Ayub and Saud Shakil. So Saim Ayub, again, some question about whether he has a place in Test cricket because of his style of batting, but he's showing that he's technically very competent, and you need an aggressive batsman like Saim Ayub up top. Now, let's not go comparing him after this innings to David Warner and other aggressive players. He's so young, so just let's give him time to breathe and give him as many chances as possible, because there will be failures. And when failures come, let's not be overly critical and put heaps of pressure on him, the way we've done with Babar Azam and other players in the past. Now you're looking at Saud Shakil. He's been Pakistan's best test player for the last year. He actually, now I was watching him bat, he reminds me a lot of the late Graham Thorpe, God rest his soul. What a wonderful player Saud Shakil is, because he's very competent and compact against fast bowling and spin bowling. That's why he's almost your perfect middle order batter. He plays with a great deal of thought, clarity, and most importantly, positivity, which Pakistan have been lacking for quite some time. So it's good to see this Pakistani recovery in tricky conditions.
And Ali, it really answers Pakistan's equation as well, that number 5, number 6, Asad Shafiq used to occupy that spot brilliantly, and we had a lot of help from him, even facing the second new ball often, but he was unfortunately stranded with the tail. So that 5, 6, with the inclusion of Saud Shakil and Salman Ali Agha, that really answers Pakistan's equation as well.
Oh, for sure. I think after that Australian tour, yes, Pakistan lost 3-0, but they had their moments. But for me, one of the most heartening things to see was that Pakistan are developing or have quite a few players to form a strong middle order. Shakil, Agha Salman, and Mohammad Rizwan. So Pakistan have something that they can build on. And what's more, he can bowl. Salman Agha can bowl, and Saud Shakil can also turn his arm over. But that's, I think, a huge silver lining for Pakistan's test side, something that Jason Gillespie and Shan Masood are aware of. There are some small changes that they can make if someone is not doing well up top. If Abdullah Shafiq's poor run of form continues, you can ask Shan Masood to open the batting, which he's done for most of his career, and then bring in an all-rounder, someone like an Amir Jamal, or you may want a regular batsman like Herrera. So there's plenty of Pakistan to work with. Look, Pakistan have been struggling to try and develop a middle order, but you've got some very good players in there, and especially Saud Shakil, who I think can go very, very far.
Well, certainly. Asif, what would you like to add about day one's proceedings, especially citing the pitch? I think great toss to win for Bangladesh as well.
Well, of course, that was a very good decision, that bowling first, because you know that overcast conditions, and after that, when there was delay in the match start, then they started in a very good style. I must talk about that the Saim Ayub, people who follow the domestic cricket, he is such a talented player. His technique is perfect. What was the wrong in T20 cricket? Why? Just he was playing across the line, and no look shot taught by Azhar Mahmood or some other coaches, maybe sitting in the in our studio as well. If they're telling them, just tell them, just play with the straight bat. And that's why Saim Ayub is such a perfect batter. And he's showing his class, because I've watched him. His average is over 40. He scored 300s in first-class career. When you've given him a chance, now that's the best time. But the only problem is that is Babar Azam's...
Right, we're just going towards a short break, but stay tuned. We're coming right back. Welcome back to Sports Extra, and of course Pakistan are on a roll at the moment. They're 114 for 3. Saim Ayub and Saud Shakil are still at the crease, so looks like to be a very fair partnership. So a decent now recovery from Pakistan.
It's a decent recovery. I mean, Ahmed Bhai, and secondly, I'm happy for especially I would say Saim Ayub, because we were the ones we were actually criticizing, not criticizing, but it was a constructive criticism where we spoke that Herrera was a brilliant choice who could have debuted over here, because he was one of the guys who has been performing well in the domestic structure and has got a good track record at the Pindi Stadium. But the way Saim today played, I mean, especially when your senior campaigners did not score runs, I mean, and you were under pressure, he came up with Saud Shakil, a brilliant partnership over here. He has scored 50 plus runs, and the biggest thing what I saw today was that he didn't panic. 2 to 3 balls, I saw him a little bit, he would have panicked over there, but the way he was calm, he was playing the proper shots, the V kind of a shot selection, and especially it's a good pacey track over here. The ball is uprising, and the way even Saud Shakil was playing to the Bangladesh bowlers, he was standing outside the crease to cut the swing. That looks the temperament what they carry on, and if you play domestic cricket, that's what you carry for the international levels. It's a brilliant innings what Pakistan has played over here. I hope Pakistan, because you remember we were just discussing off air that Pakistan, the way Pakistan started on, so they might like 150, 160. If Pakistan is able to get a score, Pakistan has a good bowling unit, but now Pakistan really needs to look after 250, 300 runs over here, because Pakistani bowling attack looks good, and you have got the tomorrow day, the first session would be very important for Pakistan, how they cope up with the situation, because still I feel one thing, I might be wrong, Ahmed Bhai, but it's a fast ball track over here, it's a bowling track, but when you just go by the third and fourth day, specifically the third later day, I would say spin plays a role. It's really going to be a crucial thing how Saim Ayub and especially Agha Salman, because they both even spin the ball, how their role will be played in Pakistan team.
Certainly, that I think this is a very crucial phase of the game right now, this last half an hour. And then, of course, tomorrow's first session is going to be equally very, very important, as Wes also mentioned. But I think there are a lot of things that need to be discussed, particularly as well. One of those things in Pakistan, I think, is very common, that, everything tends to revolve around Babar Azam, and we take the question every time towards there as well. Now, Ali Gohar, I think it's an irony that in Pakistan, even for your white ball woes, you would be answerable in red ball cricket, because that's the first series eventually after the World Cup, but that's the way it is. And Babar's dismissal right now, of course, it can happen to any one of us or any player who's playing, to be honest, but the fact is that there are signs that, he's low on confidence right now.
Look, I mean, every great player goes through a bad patch, and Babar's has lasted for some time. But I can think of when Brian Lara went through some difficulties, as well as Sachin Tendulkar. I'm not comparing Babar to Sachin or Lara, but you get the point I'm trying to make. He's been under heaps of pressure. I mean, just think about, the way we've been speaking about him over the last few years. I mean, that would weigh heavily on anybody. So I think we should give Babar a break. Let's spend time on others. Look, I talked about Saud Shakil just half an hour ago. He's got as much potential as Babar, I think. And then there are others coming up. Wes just mentioned Herrera. Agha Salman, I think, will have a very important role to play for Pakistan going forward. And Saim Ayub is just a wonderful talent. So I think I think there's just been so much attention on him over the last, 4 or 5 years. I think we need to just back off a bit and let the guy breathe. And if he wants to take a bit of a break, like a mental health break, like Virat Kohli took, why not? Because Babar still has a lot to offer Pakistan cricket in all 3 formats. So I think maybe it's time for us to pull back a little bit, because there's still a lot of cricket left in Babar Azam, and he can do wonders for Pakistan going forward.
He can, and we hope so as well, because I still believe what Ali Gaur said, that he adds a lot to the Pakistan team, becomes a very imperative character there as well. But now we've got some things that have been, I think, occasionally very, very interesting in the day's play today. Let's take a look at one of these reports, which is, of course, the fall of wickets for Pakistan.
Just to that right-hander, and there was the poor delivery, and what a catch. That got things going for Bangladesh. This outside edge, they've got the slips in place for it. It was a bit of a lazy shot, but a sharp chance there.
Beautiful delivery, is there an inside edge? Huge appeal. Bangladesh convinced. Are they going upstairs? Shariful Islam is totally convinced.
Yeah, Adrian, we've got.
Second wicket, Shan Masood.
Let's have a look at this again. The on-field umpire gave it not out. It was referred by Bangladesh. What do you make of this, Ahmed?
Wasn't a woody sound, was it? See, I think the third umpire should have asked for brilliant take in the slips. That's for sure.
Oh, big appeal. There was a sound and the finger goes up as well. Bangladesh, well, they can see Babar Azam, the class of the player.
And there you have it. And what a jinx have we created. 3 wickets down Pakistan in that follow wickets. And just right now, the 4th wicket has fallen for Pakistan's Saim Ayub returns back to the pavilion. Once again, a brilliant delivery by Hassan. Saim just tried too, I think, hard of a cover drive. Just it had to be a soft hand, but just tried too hard. And once again, a brilliant catch in that slip cordon gully area as well. So Pakistan lose their 4th wicket at a very crucial interval on day's play. K. Asif Ahmed.
Well, you should give credit to the fast bowlers. They are just bowling and hitting the right area, which is called the good length area. Saim Ayub played better innings. I was expecting something extraordinary now, because when you spent and already the crucial time gone, and he was well settled there. He was playing so nicely. He was playing with the straight bat. We have watched him the way he was playing, not using cross the line. So it was good innings for him, at least a little bit of booster for him. But you should give credit to the skipper, Shantu, the way he's using his fast bowlers. Early on in that report, we were watching the way Abdullah Shafiq got out, playing away from the body. You know that players like Abdullah Shafiq, Saud Shakil and Babar Azam and then of course the skipper Shan Masood. Shan Masood, that was technically, if you see, there was a little bit gap between bat and pad. The ball was coming in and bit of edge. It was a clear out. I don't know why Shan Masood was showing aggression. And being sportsman, you should have shown the sportsman spirit. And then, of course, Babar Azam.
But Shirai Saab has denied the wicket. He said it was a not out, clearly not out.
Well, okay, I will listen to the umpire, not listen to Shirazi Saab. Thank you very much. The second and an important thing is, and then Babar Azam, the way he was playing. It's just really important, this kind of pitch, when you're going for the glance. It was glances. It wasn't a flick shot coming over to your body. Staying, he played. He was stood there. He didn't move. And then there was a technical mistake. You said that I don't want to talk about the technique of Babar Azam, but yes, Babar Azam is struggling towards onside. That was his strong area earlier on, but I strongly agree with Ali Gohar. Now this is the time to give him some break. I don't know why Pakistan Cricket Board is not taking this decision to give some rest to him for a couple of matches, and he's not taking this decision by himself as well. So the great players, as he mentioned, Lara, Tendulkar, even Virat Kohli, all Inzamamul Haq, they went with the bad times. So the good thing is, if he'll take some rest, and come after a couple of months, maybe there would be pressure, and of course he's under pressure after losing T20 World Cup. There was huge criticism over his captaincy and batting skills as well. So a better thing is go and take rest.
Absolutely. Avais, that mode of dismissal was very particular for Babar Azam even, and we just saw Saim Ayub getting out as well. I think we will be discussing Pakistan's errors for their batters as well. But one thing is for sure, you got to give a lot of credit to this young fast bowling lineup that Bangladesh has brought up.
Ahmed, if you just watch the Bangladesh bowling lineup, the best thing was that they have hit that line length. I mean, it was like 57% of the balls were hit short length. I mean, they were just trying to ball it on the offside for the left-handers. They had a right plan. I mean, if you just watch out the whole over, which especially Saim Ayub, which he got out, I mean, it was that 4 balls were balled short of the length, and the 5th ball where he tried to drive that ball was a foolish one. So they are properly using the mindset of the fast ball. You can see the plan what they have over here. Babar Azam, if you go by biomechanics specifically, I know there has been some issues. Psychological is the biggest issue what has happened with him in the past months, I would say, with Babar Azam. But if you talk about his weight especially the balance what head carries, I mean, it's falling on the offside. So it's not the way he's getting out. I mean, on the leg side, that's the biggest issue, because I know he's one of the finest batsmen. Everyone speaks about him, but I would really prefer that he needs some mental rest. I mean, the Pakistan Cricket Board needs to at least have some rest for him, so he can rethink what mistakes he has been doing over here. Because the things from past, I would say from 12 to 13 months, what the things had happened in the Pakistan Cricket Board, that literally creates that pressure back in your mind. Even Shaheen Shah Afridi, I mean, he's a strike fast bowler, but still I feel again that I know 13 months, Naseem Shah is coming back as a strike fast bowler. He will be under pressure too, because whatever things had happened in the Pakistan Cricket Board, that psychological pressure being built on a fast bowler, he will have to counter that. I mean, he'll have to perfectly ball in these situations, because that thing will be in his mind that whatever situation was, the people have been talking about me, whatever people have been saying on, I need to perform with the ball. So that's a human psyche. They need to counterattack that. But I personally feel that Pakistan Cricket Board really needs to look after them. They need to give them little rest so they can relax and watch the game and just come back stronger back.
Absolutely. And now I think it's a moment that we reflect on Saim Ayub's brilliant half century as well. Unfortunate that he's gotten out. I wish he could have carried on. It would have been a fantastic 100.
Pakistan and Bangladesh have rich cricketing histories. Pakistan has been a powerhouse in cricket.
Very experienced batsman. But this time he found the gap. I think he's going to get a couple. It might be a 4. And he got a 4. That's a huge one. There he goes. Bludgeoning full shot.
They have had success in various formats of the game. On the other hand, Bangladesh, though relatively newer to international cricket, has shown significant progress in recent years. The Test cricket rivalry between Pakistan and Bangladesh has been a one-sided affair to date. Since their first Test series in 2001, the two teams have faced each other in 13 matches. Out of these 13 encounters, Pakistan has emerged victorious in 12 matches.
A ball that came back in sharply there.
Oh, close. Gone. What a ball. Full of length, came in. Absolute ripper.
Shanto on a hat-trick.
Edge and taken. We have a hat-trick. 16-year-old, you beauty. What a ripper. What a cracker. Great catch. Fantastic drama in the dying moments of day 3. It's the youngster who's created.
Bangladesh, despite their efforts, has yet to secure a win against Pakistan in Test cricket. One Test match between the teams ended in a draw, reflecting the competitiveness of some contestants.
It was Pakistan's history against Bangladesh, and obviously I think the two Test nations have got a bit of history, but Pakistan has been the more dominant side in this Test history that we talk about in this report by Malaika, of course. And like I said, that the match has entered a very crucial phase. This was a moment to keep on to your wickets, but a wicket has fallen, and it's still a time to not lose another wicket, because this last half an hour of play is always very tricky, and including the first half an hour of play that proceeds on day 2 as well. Aligarh, particularly Mohammad Rizwan or Sarfaraz, has been the debate who's going to play, but I think considering the pitch and the conditions, they were bound to go with Mohammad Rizwan, and the onus is on him as well now. Somebody's got to support Saud Shakil in the cause that he's there for.
Oh, for sure. I'll get back to that. But Ahmed, I'm glad all of you mentioned the Bangladeshi fast bowlers, because they're very young at this level, but they've already made an impact. Shariful Islam, the left armour, and then there's Hassan, and then there's the first change bowler, Nahid, who's actually quite quick. And they're young fast bowlers, and it'll be very interesting to see how they go in this Test series and then later on. So I'm happy to see that Bangladesh are consistently developing fast bowling talent. There's a lot to work with there. So I'm really looking forward to see how they're bowling, how they carry on. As Wes mentioned, they've, for most part of day 1, they've hit the right areas and put the Pakistani batters under pressure. So I should think we should spend time. Obviously, we're going to talk mostly about Pakistan, but we should spend time talking about the Bangladesh team, especially these young fast bowlers. The first change bowler, Nahid, comes from some small town in Bangladesh. I mean, his is quite an interesting story. So I'm happy to see them progressing. Talking about Mohammad Rizwan and Sarfaraz, I think it's pretty obvious, and it has been for a while, that Rizwan is your first choice in every format. He's got a wonderful cricketing brain. He's a counter-attacker, just the kind of thing you need from your wicketkeeper batsman. And he's more than capable of supporting Saud Shakil. I think Pakistan will set small goals. They look to get to maybe 250, if 300 perhaps. They have, they've got a few batters left. Salman Agha, who batted very well in Australia. I think this is the right combination. Maybe they would have wanted another spinner. Bangladesh have a specialist spinner in Mehdi. We don't have one. But I don't see why Pakistan can't make a considerable first innings score here and then put the Bangladeshi batters under pressure, because we have the bowlers to do it.
Well, certainly we do, and I think they consistently touch the pace as well. But Ali Gaur, on another note, the captaincy's been brilliant as well. I mean, not just winning the toss, their field placement has been absolutely accurate, and the bowlers have delivered according to that as well.
Look, I'm very bullish about this Bangladeshi team. Shanto's a good captain, and he seems he captains with clarity. And he's not afraid to make bold decisions, and strategically, as we've seen, he's not bad at all. And then you have the elderly statesman in there as well, because you need, I mean, this is a cliche, but you need a combination of experience and youth, and that's exactly what Bangladesh have. They have a crop of very young fast bowlers, but they also have elderly statesmen to advise them. So when they get into a difficult situation where they're under pressure, they have the experienced campaigners to put their arm around them and say, look, everything will be all right, and then guide them in the right direction. So I think there's a lot to look forward to with Bangladesh. And as you quite rightly said, Ahmed, the captain himself, he's been brilliant, and no wonder the Bangladesh Cricket Board asked him to captain this side.
Well, certainly. I think that really sums it up, but that's been a very interesting phase of play as well. So thank you very much, Ali Gaur, K. Asif Ahmed and Syed Mohammad Awais, for joining us on the show. Action continues on PTV Sports HD. You can watch it there. For those of you who are tuning into Sports Extra on Facebook Live on PTV Sports Official, thank you very much to you as well. And there's one particular gentleman, Wajid, who is joining us. So thank you, Wajid, for your comment and tuning in on Facebook Live as well. Like we tell you every day, that you can also watch us on Facebook Live on PTV Sports Official platform. And just before going, there's something very interesting that I wanted to share with you. It just came across my mind as well. It is that an Aussie school, which is in Victoria, it's called the Lara Secondary College, has become the very first to introduce cricket as a curriculum in their college, and that is brilliant. I mean, this is what the game is all about, and imagine the importance be given that it's now part of your curriculum as far as your course of studies is concerned. So I just thought that was a brilliant piece to share with all of you. But that wraps up Sports Extra. For me and the entire team, it's goodbye for now.